Okay.
Yeah, baby. Okay. Boom. Tell me when you see it's live. It's live. We're streaming live. All right. Live out of Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and back from AC in the owner's box, Mr. Byron Jones, hosted by Byron Jones and Victor Arocho, provided to you by the Sportscast. Today is Thursday, September 14, 2023. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to us on all your social media channels. YouTube, Spotify, Stitcher, name a podcast, we're on it. We streaming live every Thursday at 8 p.m. on YouTube and on Facebook. Please remember every Thursday. Don't forget, our podcast is on Stitcher. What podcast is out there? Stitcher, Spotify. If you go to iTunes, you could plug it in. It's right there on the podcast. By the way, we promote it. It'll come on the next day. If you go to your YouTube channel and you see Jersey Boy Sports Talk, in a lot of our shows, you'll see some Excel files that our former NFL player and host Byron Jones usually makes up for you fantasy football players, the top 25 quarterbacks, receivers, linemen, defensive linemen. So that may give you a heads up on there. So go check that out. Today, we are excited. We're going to be talking about a lot of things today. We're going to talk about the Giants and the Cowboys game. Yes, it was a disaster, but, things will happen out of that. We got some questions to talk about. I ain't worried about it. It ain't all about Cowboys anyways. Down with those Cowboys. Number one. Number two, they're a hype every year. Two, we're going to talk about Aaron Rodgers and the Jets, okay? Three, we're going to talk about the Dolphins. Tua, TD, Tua, total yards, Tua, great passes, Tua. If he stays healthy, Tua. We're going to be talking about that. We're going to talk about Jimmy G taking down the Broncos, and I went with my heart, and I selected the Broncos from my fraternity brother and our co-host, Mr. John Rodenberg, who's on the show with us today. I did pick the Dolphins, Mr. Tyre Hill. We're going to talk about that. I did pick the Dolphins. I think, Byron, you picked the Chargers, but we're going to follow that up. But I still think Staley should get fired because they lost that game. And so we got a lot to talk about. So let's get ready to rumble. Yeah, I am excited for football season. The Canes won. The Florida Noles won. I am happy. All right, let's get it on. Mr. Byron, how you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful today. Today was a lovely day in the Pennsylvania area.
A lovely day in the Pennsylvania area.
Wasn't too hot, wasn't too cold.
Perfect.
Kevin, I'd like to welcome to our show John Rodenberg, a resident Colorado sports expert, and Mr. Kevin Tyre, our local Miami Dolphin fan and our local Miami Dolphin fan sports. So we are proud to have him. I'm sure, when I found out he was coming, I go, oh, I'm sure he's going to come to the show to bring the heat. So we're pretty excited to have him here. So let's get started first. We start off first with NFC East. So we're going to start off with the disastrous Giant game. There's a lot to talk about in that game. Number one. So Byron, why don't you start off?
Well, let's see. Let me go into memory banks. That's probably that's the 8th worst beating that they've ever had, in their illustrious history. I've never seen the whole right side of a line play as bad as those two did. Gowinski and Neal, might as well throw their name out. Let's go to the defensive side real quick. I didn't even know Leonard Williams played. Never heard his name. Ojulari, never heard his name. And then the self-proclaimed superstar, Thibodeau, never heard his name either. So it was a disaster on both sides of the ball. And what have I always said? The lines win the game. If you
next Lawrence Taylor. I didn't see no Lawrence Taylor on that field, except for maybe Mike on the other team. I did.
But it was bad. That was I'd never expected it. And that also proved the point that, maybe you need to do play in the preseason games instead of just, you march down the field. Hey, we scored a touchdown. All right, Daniel Jones can come out instead of, working with the offensive line, because Evan Neal is starting to look like a bust, like Eric Flowers back in the day kind of bust. This is bad. That is really, really, he's bad.
Did you just say Eric Flowers?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, he's on that level, kind of bad.
For those of you that don't know, that was during the time when they had like leather helmets.
Yeah.
It wasn't
okay.
that long. If he wasn't that long ago, about 10 years ago, he wasn't. No.
All right. So look, I want to start off with a couple things, and then I'm gonna get our guests to come in. Oh my God, the drive looked really good going down. Okay, looked really good going down, and then the way that guy just got through, hopped over, and blocked that field goal, and Gano missed another field goal. That was the start. Danny Dimes looked like the Danny Dimes of the all. I'm not gonna put everything on Danny Dimes because look, at the end of the day, you spot any team 14 points. I mean, the Dallas's offense didn't really do much. And Byron, you made a comment is, well, with that kind of defense, he's not gonna have to. That's not true. I looked at
Why
What's
not?
that?
Great defense wins championships.
Come on, yeah, that's what everybody's saying. Yeah, okay. If
This
you
is-
don't put up points, you don't win. So, anyways, defense comes into play when you need to stop. But when you're up by 14 to 20 points, I mean, your defense, the defense ain't gonna do anything unless they have to score all the points. So the only thing what the defense did for Dallas was help spot them 14 points, which takes the pressure off of them. But here's the stats, okay? I went back because you said that. I don't know if there's going to be a time where you're going to have the Brad Johnsons, the Flaccos, those Bear defense, those Raven defense, those Tampa Bay defense, and you're going to win the Super Bowl. The way the defense, the way the league is designed, it's designed to let these guys score. You can't even touch a guy, and you're going to get penalized. So I may eat my words. That may happen, but it hasn't happened over the last 5 years.
Wait a minute. Wait. What happened when Tampa Bay played the Chiefs that year, and they had Mahomes running around for 500 yards in circles? What was that?
I understand they still put up numbers, though, dude. Brady put up numbers. He put up numbers. It wasn't like they held him down.
Mahomes is supposed to be the great quarterback, and what happened to him in that Super Bowl?
I get it, but Mahomes is not Brad Johnson.
What they do to stop?
Is Mahomes Brad Johnson?
No, listen to the question. What did they?
Is Mahomes Brad Johnson? Is he Flacco?
No, I'm talking. No, I'm going what you said. You sit there and said, as far as with the defenses don't control, they control that game. Tampa Bay when they beat the Chiefs, they set up a defense where that all year the Chiefs were running all over, up and down the field. What they do? They backed up 40 yards and said, you know what? Everything in here, we're going to blow it up. We're not going to let you beat it deep. A great quarterback, right? Mahomes.
And like what Denver did to Cam a couple years ago, that was pure defense. And you can't tell me Cam Newton at the time was not the prototypical scorer. He was.
No, I'm not going to disagree with that. But over the last 5 years. Okay, you're going way back now.
That was 6 years ago, dude.
And the other one was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You're not going to compare those same quarterbacks with Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott's not going to help you win that game. Do not believe he's going to help you win.
Well, what happened to Patrick Mahomes 3 years ago?
Well, let's see. So you really think that Dallas is going to go more than one and out? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Let's get it on the record right now. So let's not argue it then. That's the argument. The argument is I don't care what the defense is. If Dak doesn't come to play, if he's not able to perform in the big moments, I don't care how great the defense is going to be. And Dallas's defense has been good for several years anyways. They just look like superstars against the lousy Giants. Okay. But outside of that, okay, you can't tell me you're going to compare Patrick Mahomes and Dak, Brady and Dak. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. I'll take two over Dak.
Oh, me too.
Okay.
If he's healthy.
If he stays healthy.
Yes.
Okay. So all I'm saying is going. Yeah. So, but with all due respect, though, every announcer you hear, Kevin, you got to agree, they all premise.
No, they always end it like that. If he stays healthy.
Until he proves them wrong, because he hasn't proved it, right? It's a fact.
It's a fact. You got data. You got what we've seen. Yeah, it's
so look. I mean, here's the stats. Here's the stats for the game. Okay, total yards 265 to 171. Okay, there's a lot more yards there, right? Passing yards, 68 to 143. What was Daniel Jones thinking when he was going out of bounds to throw that ball for an interception? Why would he do that? Was it because he got paid? Okay,
Probably.
you had rushing yards, 122 to 108. That's not a big difference. You had yards per day, 4.8 versus 2.6. That's big. First down, 14 and 18. Okay. Third down efficiency, 5 of 16, 6 of 13. Okay. Fourth down efficiency. I mean, the Giants had the ball for 33.28, 33 minutes, and Dallas had the ball for 26 minutes. Can you imagine? That is 32. That's a 5-minute difference, and it's a 40-0 game. 5-minute difference, and it's a 40-0 game.
Been closer than that.
I'm sorry?
The data says it should have been closer than that.
It should have been closer than that.
Yeah, definitely.
You mean the score?
Yeah, the score. Definitely.
Right, exactly. If you
Five
just look
minutes-
at the
5
numbers,
minutes
you wouldn't
difference
imagine it was
between
40-0.
Crazy.
So, I think, again, Dallas is already hyped up for the media. This is why most people don't like them. I thought that, hey, the defense, give them kudos. They played a great game. That offense line was the worst I could have ever thought. Byron, I was excited when we did the green chart with all the green guys. All those green guys all turned yellow. Would you agree?
Yellow. They should have a bright flaming red.
Okay, so again, it was a terrible loss. I believe in Dable. I think Giants will come around and have a pretty decent season. I don't think their season is tanked, right? I do have some questions I want to talk to you afterwards of the field. So now I want to give our guys a chance. Go ahead, John.
Let's talk about Sean Payton's choice of kickers.
No. We're staying on the Dallas. And
the Dallas.
We stick up until we change. Then I'll tell you.
I'm gonna claim ignorance to it because I was so ticked off after Denver lost that I didn't even watch the Giant. I kept checking my phone.
At least he's honest.
I kept checking my phone, and I'm like,
but that's even better, John. That's even better. I just gave you the numbers. The possession time difference was only 5 minutes.
It doesn't make sense.
It was only 5 minutes. I mean, the Dak was like 100. It was 9 for, I forgot what his numbers weren't good. It wasn't like he did something massive.
I kept checking the score on my phone. I'm like going, is this really happening? And I'm like, every time I checked, I'm like, oh, Thursday's going to be fun with Byron and Vic.
Look at the Giants put up 108 yards rushing versus Dallas's 122.
Yeah.
Okay. The passing yards was 1, but Dak only passed for 143 yards.
Why should he have to pass? They're up 40-0. Why would he have to throw the ball? He has no reason to throw the ball.
When I hear
Byron, but they have no reason. They should have put up more rushing yards. They had 122.
Tell me if I'm wrong.
He didn't have to run the ball. How many rushes did he have? Yes.
Let me tell you. So from what I'm here, from all these stats, okay, and how little yardage they actually gained and still won by 40, it tells me the field was tilted like this. That Dallas was going downhill most of the game. Were they starting a lot in Giants territory?
No, the Giants drove the ball all the way right down to set up a field goal. Okay. Then the field goal got blocked for a return for 7 points. Then we had an interception for 7 points.
Okay.
Then we had another missed field goal. And then we had an interception while Daniel Jones is running out of bounds, and there's no reason for him to throw the ball in triple coverage. Yeah. I mean, we had 7 sacks. They had 7 sacks.
Yeah, the field was definitely tilted.
The Giants had 0 sacks.
So the Giants had 0 sacks, right? And pretty much they had the ball longer, so they just weren't doing anything. Look, they had the first downs with 14. If I gave you these numbers, you didn't admit it was 14 first downs on Giants, 18 on Dallas. Only 4 more for its first downs.
Yeah.
So it was just it was a terrible, terrible game. Kevin.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I was like, I'm looking forward to Thursday. I'll take my lumps on Denver, but man, Vic and Byron, the way we've been talking trash about Dallas leading up to this point. Yeah. I had to take a few lumps at work because of last week's podcast. I'm just letting you know.
I'm not worried about it.
Yeah. Well, my boss is in Dallas, so there you go. And she's like 5'2" terrorist. I mean, that's, you know.
And I had to hear "Fly Eagles Fly" when I walked into the senior center in the morning, Monday morning.
We can talk. We're going to talk about the Eagles too. They didn't. I wasn't impressed with them. Okay, Kevin.
I was riding so high off the Dolphins win. I didn't really watch that game. I just looked at it.
So I want to go for the record to Santiago. We got 2 guests on our show, and one is down and didn't watch any football because his team lost. The other one was so high that his team won that he didn't watch any other game. So these guys are killing me.
Sorry. And you got to remember, too, it's going to get worse. Hockey's right around the corner. Hockey season's right around the corner, bud.
Read the newspaper. All right. Well, we're gonna get into that. Okay. So, look, I think Dable. I have confidence in Dable. I think Dable will bounce back. I think Byron says no. Who's the true giant fan? I believe in Dable. I really do. I think you're going to bounce back.
Wait a minute. Wait. One particular play that they ran, and you could see that it was a mess on the offensive line. When the guard comes across, to kick out, he's supposed to kick out the end. Play. It was Micah Parsons.
Oh no!
And has probably about 2 or 3 yards to cover to get to where he needs to be. This guy's coming back, from probably about 5 yards off the ball. Dude, he beat the guy to the ball carrier. I'm like, how does that happen? Where the guard, just wasn't even close. That's how bad that offensive line is. That's basic stuff right there. And it's just bad. It's like they should have played more in the preseason together. They did the stupid rotation thing with the guards and everything. And it's a mess. It really is.
Daniel Jones should have played more in the preseason also. That was a terrible interception.
The offensive line is bad.
There's no doubt, Byron. I'm agreeing with you with that.
Bad.
But you cannot tell me that. Okay, the guys didn't watch the game. Guys, Daniel Jones was running out of the corner. It was practically out of the end zone. Out of bounds.
Yeah.
He still threw the ball into triple coverage.
He was trying to make a play.
He's trying to change his name to Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question. Does that sound like Daniel Jones of the early?
No. Daniel Jones.
He's trying too hard because of that contract.
Yeah, he got the money, and now he's
He's pressing.
Okay, well, I'm disgusted. All right, let's get to the Eagles. All right, the Eagles game. Byron, what you think about that Eagles game?
They're the same thing where a lot of those guys didn't play in the preseason, and you could see that it was, they were a little off, as far as, some of the things that he did. The defense is still the defense because it's still the 2 best corners in the game probably, and then Jalen Carter is a beast. That kid, and big up between him and Jordan Davis, in the middle, and the Kobe Dean did get hurt, the linebacker, so he's out.
Yep,
and he's out tonight. I think Bradbury's out tonight, and there's a couple other guys that are out tonight. Fletcher Cox is not playing. So it's like 4 or 5 guys that were starters, but they didn't look like themselves like last year. As far as running up and down the field, but like we've been saying, a lot of them didn't play in the preseason. You didn't get a lot of reps because, I'm telling you, man, the difference in speed in practice and games is like you would never believe. It's a big difference because you're in practice, you're going to sit there and practice a guy that probably won't make the team. When the games start, that guy's the real deal across from him. So,
by the way, the Eagles are up by 3. 3-0.
Ready?
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Yep.
All right, keep me up to date with the Hurricane game too. All right, well, let me give you the numbers.
20 Hurricanes up 20.
The way I saw the Philadelphia Eagles, it was the first game, so it is what it is. I still think they're a really good team, but I, for some reason, I just thought they were going to come out guns blazing with all, making it to the Super Bowl with all the hype. I just thought that's what was going to happen. And it didn't. Number one. Number two, I found myself rooting for the Patriots at the end. If that guy would have had dragged his foot in, that game was over. It would have been a different game. Number one. Number two, here's the numbers, right? The Eagles jumped out to a 16-0 start, then gave up 14, right? And then in the third quarter, they only scored 3 points, and Patriots scored 6. Patriots scored 0, and then in the fourth quarter, Patriots scored 6, and Philly scored 6. And with Patriots running down the field score, if it wasn't for that last play, that guy would have dragged his foot. This probably would have been having a different story. the total stats. Listen to this. Total yards overall, 251 yards for Philly. Here, I'm going to give you guys the numbers, guys. So since you didn't hear it, tell me what you would have thought of this game. 250 total yards for Philadelphia, 382 yards for the Patriots against an incredible defensive team. Okay. Total passing yards, 306 for the Patriots, 154 for the Eagles. Rushing yards, only 97 for the Eagles, 76. 76 and 97 is not that far difference, right? Okay. Yards per play, 4.9 Patriots, 4.3, 4.1 for Philadelphia. First downs. Patriots had 24 first downs versus 17 to the Eagles. Okay. And whatever. It's a total plays. Patriots ran 78 plays versus 63. That's 15 more plays more. That's a lot. Sacks allowed. The Eagles allowed 3 sacks. The Patriots allowed 2 punts. The Eagles punted 5 times, which is interesting. They had the ball, and the Eagles punted 4. Penalties were bad, 70 for 80 for the Patriots, only 49. Fumbles lost 1-1. Interceptions, Patriots gave up 1 interception. Total possession time. The Eagles had more time of possession. So I'm telling you, this was a close game against a Patriot team that I don't think is as good to be that close to the Eagles.
Who's the coordinator for the Patriots? I'm just asking a question.
Brian, no?
I'm not going to answer it because who doesn't know that? Because who doesn't know that?
So you don't think that, did you see the coverage that they did where they wouldn't go deep on them? Did you see that? He was dropping 8 or 9 people at a time, the Patriots. Just so you know. I'm not going to deny that. I'm just saying I just didn't think that the Eagles came out like the Super Bowl contending team. I thought that you were. In this game 1, it's just that we're taking it game by game. Kevin, based on what I told you, and the Eagles, I mean, that was impressive for the Patriots.
Yeah. The way I look at it is that's like the 4th preseason game, really. You think about it. It's like the 4th preseason game. These guys are not even to perform until like the 3rd or 4th game. So you're not going to really see the real teams until like the 3rd or 4th week of the season. And,
that's true that you can get that high. If that's true, you can get that high about the Cowboys.
Huh?
Then you can't get that high about any of the first games we've talked about today.
I would say, that's one game by game. That 4th week, we can talk because the real team's going to come out.
Okay. All I'm saying is that we got to keep that same, if you're going to keep that comment, we got to keep that same mind status for every game.
Same thing with the Dolphins. Yeah.
Okay. We're going to get the Dolphins next. I got stats.
If they're healthy.
Dolphins. John.
There you go.
John, based on those numbers, any thoughts?
I actually watched. I was going in and out between games, and I was watching part of because the weather. Whenever I see a game in bad weather, it intrigues me, and I think the Patriots used the weather to their advantage and did some things to the Eagles that they weren't expecting. So it was a close game, and to tell you the truth, it should have been probably like you said, dragging the foot at the end. That would have been the difference. So, but I think Belichick knows how to use weather to his advantage. What Byron?
Byron's going to use whatever at the moment to his advantage. He said Belichick. He's like Belichick. That's what he's saying. I know him. Yes, Mr. Byron.
Byron's going to cut the sleeves off his hoodies now and start coming to the show like that.
Yes, I am.
You got a little gray hair there, Byron.
Yeah, I'm old.
All right. Well, anyhow, I was not overly impressed. It is true. It's the first game, but if you're going to take it as the first game, it is also the first game for the Giants. So, I mean, we can't have it both ways, right?
The Giants got blown out.
To me, it's a loss. It's just what W. It's a W or it's an L. That's it. Giants looked bad. There's no doubt.
They were the only team not to score a point in the whole NFL the first week. Nobody got shut out.
Then they might come back next week and look like Super Bowl champions.
That's your boy Danny Dimes.
Whoa! Stay up, Danny.
Don't you, Dick, you know better.
Don't do it.
I am not going to blame Danny for this game. I will tell you that I did not like some of his decisions in his play. I didn't like that. So
What about you ain't gonna say nothing about the offensive line, man? Can you please? He make you feel better.
I said it. They were horrible. They were horrific. They were so bad that the offensive line for the field goal team was terrible. That guy just slipped right through to block the ball. He just jumped between two players.
Same person.
That's he got free.
Watching that game kind of remind me of the Delaware Penn State game the day before.
And guess what? What's his name? Andrew Thomas might not be playing, and the guy that missed the block on the field goal team is going to be playing left tackle this week.
Hey,
yes.
we got to give a shout out to the Washington football team for getting their first win under new management. So I give them some credit. So we'll wrap up with the NFC East. Okay, and now let's get to what we're excited about. All right, so I got a few games that I want to talk about today. All right, Dolphins and the Chargers. I'm going to let Mr. Kevin Tyre take that, break that game down for me. If you want, I got some stats. You tell me what you want. So you break it down. Tell me how you feel. Congratulations. I did pick, by the way, I picked the Dolphins to win the game. Okay. And I also did it as a homer, and I did it for you. So, but I'm going to give you my opposite side of why Staley needs to be fired. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, defense, first of all, I'm the positive is the offense, of course. Tua, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, all those speed demons. But I'm more focused on the defense, man. I was not happy with the defense, not at all. I mean, they just was gashing us, bro. You know what I mean? It was gashing us, and we left points on the field. So I'm looking at it like that. It was a good performance on one side of the ball, but the defense, if that defense doesn't improve, the run defense doesn't improve, then we can't win every shootout. You know what I mean? Just can't do it. It just won't work.
I'll let John go next, but just so you know, almost 1,000 yards combined on both teams. There was no defense on that field.
No defense.
Now I'll tell you where the defense came through for the Dolphins was at the end.
At the end, he dialed up.
Once again, Staley should be fired, and I'll tell you why. John, you have any comments on this game?
I didn't see the highlights, but it sounds like we're talking Colorado.
It's 36-34, almost 1,000 yards combined. For both teams.
Now we're talking about Miami or CU, TCU.
This is Miami and Chargers.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Same thing with Colorado.
I was, you know me, I was cheering for the Dolphins anyway because of who they were playing. So, but yeah, you get offense like that, it's fun to watch, but you got to wait for that one defensive stand, and the Dolphins did at the end. So I got nothing but praise for Tua because he stayed healthy.
So, well, he had they didn't sack him. The Dolphins sacked the Chargers 3 times.
I can guarantee Belichick gonna bring heat this week.
Yes, he is.
They better have some alternatives, some check downs.
Byron.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. Dolphins, Chargers.
The only thing I want to think about, I'm going to say, is that we already know the guy's got a little hit, injury history, Mr. Tua, and dropping back to throw 45 times is a lot. Yeah. And you figure, you rely on the running game like a little bit, so the little guy don't get blown up. But they insist on dropping back, like that, and then they do have other receivers besides Tyreek Hill, I think, because he had 200. Waddle. He only had about 70 yards.
Tua put up 530. Tua put up 466 yards, bro. He threw 200 something yards to other receivers.
Yeah, no, Tyreek Hill by himself had about 215. He had a lot,
right?
All by himself.
Let's say he had 215.
He did.
They put up 240 something yards to other receivers, bro. So he threw to other receivers.
No, he was open the whole game, and what I was looking at.
Waddle had how many yards?
He had 211. They're motioning him from the tight end.
Waddle had
spot.
211?
No. Waddle had 78.
Yeah.
They're
So that means he spread the ball.
From the tight end spot. Yeah, from the tight end spot. And he's at 100 miles an hour by the time he turns up the field. You cannot cover that. It's impossible.
Well,
Tampa Bay covered it.
So
Tampa Bay.
Oh my God.
In the Super Bowl.
Oh man, that was 3 years ago.
Yeah. All right. So look, 536 total yards, Dolphins, 433. Listen to me. That Charger team, though, they had 200 yards rushing. If I told you this team had 200 yards rushing, 200 yards passing, 233 yards rushing, right? Yards per play, 5.7. You wouldn't think they lose that game.
What was the time of possession? I'm interested in hearing that.
Time of possession was 32 minutes for the Chargers, only 27 for the Dolphins. The Dolphins were putting up major plays, big plays.
Yeah, they should have controlled.
Your yards per play were 8.2 yards per play. That's insane.
Yeah. Week 1.
That's insane. Pretty much every other time you had the ball, you were getting a first down or scoring. It's one or the other.
So there were never too many third downs.
All right. So now, congratulations to the Dolphins. I will tell you, though, that touchdown that he threw to Tyreek Hill, one was an incredible pass, and two was an incredible catch. That defender had no chance, and he played great defense. There is zero you could do. He threw that ball literally just over his head, and it's not that easy for a receiver just to catch that unless you're Tyreek Hill. Okay, that pass was timed, perfect. That was an incredible pass. Right, that was the one to go ahead and win the game. Then the Dolphins missed the extra point. Now let me tell you why Staley needs to be fired again. That's why me and John can get on the phone. Why do you think he needs to be fired, Mr. Byron, though you don't believe he needs to be fired?
He doesn't need to be fired, man. They got a nice balance going on. Yeah, he doesn't need to be fired.
That's Kellen Moore. That's Kellen Moore. They didn't even talk about him. They said Kellen Moore wanted a balanced attack, and he got a balanced attack.
He did.
I picked the Dolphins to win. Chargers should have won.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Okay, let me ask you a question. That defensive back, first of all, should be fined. Okay? It was the stupidest play I ever seen. John, this is what happened. Kevin, right. You saw the play. Okay? The defense, this is how they lost the game. They lost by 2 points. 2 points. Okay? The Chargers defensive back, the game had 4 lead changes. So both teams are scoring. They put up almost 1,000 yards. Both teams are going up and down the field. Is that a fair statement? Okay? So that's happening. You're a defensive back. You get an interception in the end zone.
Come on.
What would possess you to take that ball out of the end zone? He takes it out of the end zone and gets tackled on the 6-yard line. Let me ask you a question, John. Do you want to give your offense the ball on the 6-yard line, or you want to give it to him on the 20-yard line?
Can I think about that for a second? I always hate when guys do that. It's like, unless you have 20 yards open in front of you, you take that knee.
Take a knee.
That's one. The other thing, as a defensive back, unless you catch that ball because you're cutting in front of it and you're striding, running forward.
And you need to get that momentum going the other way.
And you think you can do it, and there's no one there.
No.
Like you said, then you do it. But don't catch the ball backwards, half the hole, start to pick up speed to take it out of the end zone to get tackled on the 6-yard line. It's almost like a great punt. Do you agree if a team punts the ball and lands on the 6-yard line, would you be happy, Kevin?
No, that's just.
My question to you is: if your team punts the ball and you got it to drop on the 6-yard line, you'd be happy, correct?
Yeah,
of course.
Okay, that's exactly what that defensive back did, and that's coaching. To me, that's discipline.
Yeah, definitely. He's not.
That is discipline.
Not aware, of what's going on around him. He's just
right.
He just happened to get an interception, and every player wants to, make that interception and do that, make that that big return.
And to
It wasn't
exactly.
there. It wasn't there.
But not when you know the team has been scoring you. Tua's hot, dude. You're in the game. It's not like we're watching the game and seeing Tua's hot. Imagine being a defensive back and getting you're burnt every other game, every other play. I mean, you got to be smart. And that was a terrible, terrible play. Number one. Number two, they almost got they should have allowed for a safety. If they wouldn't let them get a safety, they would have won that game. Chargers would have won that game, believe it or not, because they ended up punting, right? Giving the Dolphins great field positions. Dolphins came back down and scored. Guess who they scored on?
Same guy.
Same defensive back. Byron. Because I know you hate when I tell you fire the Charger coach.
I love that guy, man. I think he's doing a wonderful job.
Stephen A. Smith said it this morning. Fire the coach. He needs to be fired.
I'm with Byron. I think he's doing a fantastic job with that young team.
Yes, he
Keep
is.
it up.
That's right. Keep it up.
No. He said fair. He's doing that. He wants him to stay there.
Yes, I do.
I
Okay.
love that guy. I hope he stays there the
that-
next 10 years.
I think he's terrible.
20.
Terrible coach. I think I mean, I'm sorry. He lost that game. And look, I was happy to see it was a fun offensive game. Let me tell you, this kid, the running game for the Chargers looked awesome. I loved seeing Tua light it up. Look, there was no confusion because everyone's talking about game one and how it's only the preseason. Remember, I told you, let's stick to the same mindset, right? You got to admit, we went into this game, no confusion that the Dolphins had offensive firepower. Yes?
Yeah.
Everybody
When healthy, yeah.
Okay, but well, they were healthy as hell Saturday,
Sunday.
and
Oh, yeah.
Sunday, and they lit it up. They
It's the
did
It's
exactly
the
what was
it's
predicted.
the first game.
But that's not fair. You can't say it's the first game. That's why the team wasn't that good. And then it's the first game, but we predicted the offense, that the Dolphins had offensive firepower, and they predicted it. Come on, it can't be both sides.
Yes, it can be both
It's
sides.
defense for me. The
For
defense
you,
for
it
me.
is.
The
Huh?
defense.
Still only 3-zip in Philly.
Oh, this game. I'm watching this game. This game is horrible. I mean,
What
they
about the
got
Hurricanes?
Hurricanes was up 27-0 when I turned it.
Come on, crystal ball.
what they
All
play?
right.
Playing
So anyways,
Bethune-Cookman.
that I want to get back on with Joey Bag of Donuts to talk about Brandon Staley. He needs to go. I'm happy the Dolphins won. Dolphins are exciting. Maybe it's easier for me. I better hurry up and get me a Dolphin Giant ticket as fast as I can, since the Giants, maybe the tickets went down. But Staley,
I need Dallas to keep winning. I need
it was-
I can make my
no.
whole season ticket
why?
cost.
Why? You
Sell
gonna
the
sell
ticket.
what game?
The
What
Dallas
ticket?
Cowboys.
Against
Christmas
the
Eve.
Dolphins?
Yeah.
Against
Christmas
the
Eve.
Dolphins?
Yeah. Down here.
Is that what it is? All right. Well, I don't care about Dallas. All righty. Next game. All right. Let's go to, what do you think about, I'm going to go through a few things. We went through NFC East, went to Dolphins. Anything else on the Dolphins you want to say? I thought their last stand was good. Just my opinion again with Staley, why he should be fired. Byron, answer this question. That was some terrible play. Dolphins, give credit to the Dolphins defense, but you've been driving down the field all game and you can't drive to get a field goal when kickers are kicking 50 yards. He went 4 and out. Mr. Byron Jones,
I didn't hear you.
you notice how he has selective hearing?
No, because I got Eric is texting me right now.
Tell him stop texting
Uncle
him, get
Eric
on the
is
phone.
texting you?
The different
Oh,
Eric.
okay. All right.
Tell him to get on the phone. Tell him to get on the call. Eric, get on the podcast.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Byron, you got to admit that was terrible play calling when both teams are going down the field. Let me ask you something, John. You see the score was a 2-point game. They were putting up 1,000 yards between the two. Do you really think that one team was going to go 4 and out on one set of plays to only score 3 points? The Chargers with Justin Herbert and that team.
Yeah. Well, but then
They
again,
went
they have the greatest coach in the NFL right now.
They went 3 and out. So that's another reason. All right, let's go back. Byron, you got anything to say on that? Because you got to say something on that, Byron. That was
No.
just terrible. That coach is
I
terrible.
love the fact that the guy tried to make a play running out of the end zone. So what? Don't worry about it. No big deal. You got Kellen Moore is the offensive coordinator. He's going to be the next big thing as far as getting another head coaching job somewhere. Brandon Staley's not going anywhere because the owner's cheap. They like that guy, so he's not going anywhere. He's going to stay right where he is for the next 2-3 years. Easy.
You got to give Kellen more credit, man. He had a balance. They had 400 something yards and it was 50-50 run pass. That's a winning recipe right there.
But they lost and you hate the head coach.
And I hate they lost because of that defensive back. That's what defense lost the game. First of all, defense lost the game in general when you both give up 1,000 yards.
We left some points on the field, though. We left a lot of points on the field.
Yeah. So
that one play didn't.
Yes, it did.
No.
Yes, it did. Listen to me.
We fumbled.
Listen to me.
We drove down the field the first series. We drove all the way down the field to the 6-yard line and fumbled the ball.
But cannot.
That was 7 all day long.
Listen to me. If then the Giants would have been in the game if they didn't give up defensive plays that didn't lead to touchdowns. See, when you do something that don't lead to points, when you get a turnover that doesn't lead to points, it doesn't help you. So in this situation, not only he helped
at the 6-yard line.
No, but I'm talking about this guy took the ball out. It ended up giving the other team points.
Yeah, but we left points on the field. That's what I'm saying. We drove all the way down there and we fumbled on the 6-yard line. That's 7 points for us. Okay, I understand what you're saying about this guy, that other guy. Yeah.
But you put up 500 something yards, right? So at the end of the day, what do you want? 600-700? I mean, at the end of the day, I get it. I get it, but I can go back and forth. But this was towards the end of the game, though. I understand. This was towards the end of the game. Eric, are you there, Eric?
Yes, I'm here.
Hey, welcome to the show.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's up, brother?
Hey, welcome to the show, Eric. Hey, Eric, we got our guests with us, John Rondenberg. We got Kevin Tyre. And if you want us to, we just finished up with the Eagles, but since you're an Eagle fan,
I called a little bit late, but I wanted to throw something out there.
Oh boy.
I know I'm past this already, but I'm gonna throw it out there. I just want to let you guys know, because Victor, you my guy, man. So I know you wouldn't have left me off the show. But Kevin left me off the show, and Coach Byron left me off the show, because we talked about what did I call him again, Coach Byron?
I remember what I left you off the show about. What we talking about?
When I told y'all Aaron Rodgers wasn't gonna make it to the 6th game.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, you forgot about that.
He did. I remember.
Y'all all told me I was crazy.
He didn't make
Eric, I would have agreed with you. I would have agreed with you.
He didn't make it to the 6th. He didn't make it to the 5th play.
He didn't make it to the 4th quarter in his own game.
Wow.
He didn't make it a 5th play. But that goes to say, let me ask you a question, though. Well, let's go back to you in a second, Eric. Byron, we've been talking about this for several years since we had the show. And we were concerned with what's wrong with the Giants, our receivers are constantly getting hurt. And we were wondering if it's the field, right? And it seems that what's his name? Who got hurt from Dallas got hurt when they was playing on the Giants field and Met Stadium. Right. So a lot of players a lot of guys from Dallas got injured. A lot of guys get injured playing in Met Field.
Yeah, but it's most of it's soft pitch. You always hear with the Giants, these guys got hamstrings. Why?
Yes.
And it's I don't know.
Coach, you know why?
Why?
Coach Byron, you know why? It's because they need to go back to the old school way of doing things. There's no way that you could go 50% throughout the whole preseason and then first game turn it on 100% and expect to be 100%. That don't make no sense. They hardly ever practice. They damn near playing Madden on rookie.
Yeah, but that's what we were talking about.
But it's terrible, because you and I both know, and even although the Giants did what they did, that wasn't indicative of who a Giants player is or a fan. They wouldn't have went out there and disrespect. Listen, I'll tell you one thing. If Parcells was coaching them, that wouldn't have happened. No. If he had anything to do with that, that wouldn't have happened. And you know that.
No,
old school. Take him.
I like Dable, but I just think they just played bad. I mean,
I just know this new way of doing things by letting guys just get by not putting in the work. That's the problem. That's where we having a problem at.
Well, let's get that. Let's take it to the Eagles Patriots game. I think that played into the Eagles Patriots games as well.
Well, no, listen,
you guys won 25. You guys won 25-20. You won 25-20
right now.
But you gave up a lot of offense, a lot of offensive yards, time of possession. The defense didn't look as powerful as it was. And if it wasn't for 1 foot drag, this game could have been different. And that goes back to what Byron was saying and what you were saying.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying it goes back to what you said, Byron was saying earlier. I think that our other guests were saying is that they need to some of these guys need to play in preseason.
All of them.
Yeah, how about that? At least one game, at least a couple of damn something. Give us something, man. Like pay our hard-earned money to watch these guys.
You don't get no discount on preseason tickets. I tell you that.
And it's a mess.
Yeah, because
you don't give a discount.
Like when they were doing like the 5 games, the first 3, they play, a little bit first quarter, then the second game a little bit more, third game. Usually the third game, they end up playing like the whole game, most of these guys, and then the 4th game, and then the 5th game, they put whoever out there, the guys are on the bubble. But now they're doing 3 games. The 3 games, most of them not playing. Daniel Jones only had 9 snaps, and the Jet, they marched down the field and scored. Oh yeah, all right, he's good to go. And then they went out here and whatever that mess was the other day. And all the teams are like that. But you have to remember, defenses are always ahead of the offenses, in the first part of the season. Because defense is more reactive, and offense, you just got to scheme for this, and that it's just a big difference, and it'll catch up. But
the learning curve on the offensive side is harder than on the defensive.
Yeah, a lot harder.
So Eric, the Philadelphia gave up 300. He's gone.
He's gone.
All right. Well, they give up 306 yards passing, man. I mean, you're not going to get away with that with some of these other teams. All right, let's get back to here. The game I wanted to talk about, which is we were saying all year, and we still got it's only game 1, like we said, is what did you guys think of the? And we got time. Wow, it's moving quick. The Cleveland Bengals game. Byron,
I was shocked.
That was shocked. Because he only I think he had 82 yards passing. Burrow that's
67.
And he's another one where he got hurt. He didn't play any preseason games because he had like the calf injury. He didn't play at all. So he wasn't in sync with his guys at all. And he has a new offensive line too. He had
Myles Garrett on his backside all day.
Yeah, that didn't help. And
that didn't help at all.
And then they paid all that money for that left tackle. Orlando Brown is there. He used to play with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So, I would be a little worried that I paid all this money left tackle, and Myles Garrett, he does it to everybody, is chasing them all over the field.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the interesting 2 sacks allowed. Cleveland allowed 3, but look at these numbers. 350 total yards to 142. They doubled their yards. Okay. That is crazy. Okay. Passing yards wasn't much. 144 to 167. Rushing yards 206 to 75. Okay, yards per play 4.9 to 2.6. Obviously, the lower numbers are for Cincinnati. First downs. Oh my God. Cleveland had 21 first downs to Cincinnati 6.
Oh no.
This was just a lopsided game all over, right? Total plays 72 to 54. Sacks allowed was, the Bengals had more sacks than Cleveland did, and they still the punts, whatever, penalties, fumbles lost. I mean, from a defensive side, time of possession, oh my God, almost 12-minute difference, time of possession. That's almost a quarter. Cleveland had at least a quarter more. I'm sorry?
That should have been 40-0, sounds like.
That should have been these stats look like a 40-0 game compared to the Giants stats. Would you agree?
Oh, yeah.
Totally.
Byron's, of course, going to say no, but,
Except for 7 sacks.
I got to say no.
Byron, yeah, he doesn't care.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Anyhow, that was terrible. Do you think that we should be concerned with Joe Burrow?
No, he'll be
No.
fine. He'll be fine.
Okay, I don't think
They
so.
usually stink it up the first month of the season, and then they turn it on.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
We didn't bring up one thing, man, and everybody laughed at me last week. The Lions beating the Chiefs.
I picked it too.
You laughed at me. You laughed at me, Victor.
I did. I laughed at you. I did laugh.
Yeah,
I don't think I laughed at you. I picked Kansas
You
City.
gave me a hearty chuckle.
Yeah, you gave us both a hearty chuckle on that one.
Whatever the deal is. First of all, guys, come on. When our rapper drops the ball 3 times, okay, he makes 1 catch, you don't win the game.
Brick hands.
So come on, like okay, I'm gonna give you the win. I lost.
That's all I wanted. I don't want to hear nothing else. I'm good.
I give you the win. But
good.
Come on, man. Those guys dropped the ball like someone was gonna beat them.
A win is a win is a win.
I'm gonna give you the win, but you can't. Yeah, but that's not the way you presented Detroit. Like they were a team to be fearful of.
Yeah, and they won.
Yep.
They weren't a fearful team.
They won.
That's not the same as being a fearful team.
They won. That's all that matters.
Okay. All right, I'm going to give you kudos. They won. That's it. But let's be clear.
In Kansas City.
Okay, that's fine. Give it to you. Kudos to Detroit. I'm happy for the Detroit fans. That's fine. Lions. Okay, they're not as good as you guys were stating they are. It was game 1. Let's see what happens.
All right.
But Kansas City was 1 drop away from winning that game.
Yeah,
one out of like 6 passes. I think he had 6 drop passes.
Yeah, a bunch of them, but they still
I thought it was double digits, but who was counting that at that point?
Okay.
We're not counting.
So all we needed was 1.
But you did get it.
And I don't want to mention his name, but it's KT is his initials, and he tries to be a rapper. And now he's talking smack about the Giants. Okay. You know what they stated on one of the sports shows today? They said that there's not a guy in the Giants locker room team that is not happy that this guy's not in the locker room. They're all happy he's not in that locker room. That's indicative to the type of person that KT is. Right? Because he went off of Twitter and Instagram when he dropped all those passes and then got back on to make fun of the Giants. Like, those are your boys, man. You don't do that. You never know if you're going to play with those guys again. Why would you do that?
It's their fault for entertaining a guy. Ignore him. That goes for people, on the social media. Just ignore this clown.
But the people who didn't ignore, I don't know who acknowledged it. I'm not saying that anybody on the Giants acknowledged it. I am only saying that the announcers were saying, and the fellow former player said that it was disrespectful to his former teammates. He couldn't have done that but he was taking the heat off of him when he dropped the ball with one of the greatest quarterbacks that's good of this era right now. The other thing is, let's talk about Aaron Rodgers real quick. The Jets. Okay, I couldn't. First of all, I thought it goes back to what I said about Buffalo. That's why I didn't pick Buffalo for the AFC East. Now without Aaron Rodgers, Miami. I'm gonna have to go with Miami.
If healthy,
I'm gonna have to go. If healthy, I'm gonna go Miami.
Right, the same thing.
I don't. The problem is that the same way I go if he stays healthy, I don't trust Buffalo, and now I'm not sure if I trust Josh Allen. Right, because everyone goes, oh well, he's not going to do that again. The Miami defense has been playing pretty good for the last couple of years. I brought out the stats in the last maybe 12 games. The Buffalo's only blown them out twice. Mm-hmm. And their average scores is 23 or less. So it's not like they've dominated the Dolphins. And in fact, the Dolphins almost beat them in the cold in Buffalo. Right, Kevin? And it was 38-37. I mean, they put up points.
That's a win. We have a healthy Tua.
Yeah. So again, so back to the
7-3 Vikings.
Yes.
Okay, great. Back to the Jets. I was very impressed with their defense. I was very impressed with their defense. I think Saleh did a great job. I feel bad for your boy Zach Wilson, Byron, because I know that's one of your guys. But I mean, everyone's like, "Oh no, Zach Wilson will be fine," and they said that Aaron Rodgers did a good job of elevating him and the team. Aaron Rodgers is still going to be part of the team and try to help this kid to do whatever. But the first thing they're thinking of is we got to call somebody. So one name that they threw out, and I almost died. This is Stephen A. Smith. So there's times Stephen A. Smith says stuff that I just totally disagree, and there's sometimes he says stuff that he was like firing Staley. I'm on the same page with him. But the name he threw out that they should get?
Tom Brady. Tom Brady.
Well, no. Everybody else is saying Tom Brady. He said Carson Wentz.
Oh my gosh. Great.
I wouldn't.
He's like, oh, okay. Oh.
I would take Nick Foles over Carson Wentz.
Yeah, he did win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, he did.
But he did. But he's also put up decent numbers. And I just feel that Carson Wentz is just not a winner. I mean, he went to Indianapolis with the coach that brought him, and it was terrible.
All right. How about this?
Who would you take if you had a veteran quarterback? There's no one out there. The one guy that I did like that they mentioned later in the shows was Jameson Winston.
Yeah, but he's with a team in New Orleans.
In New England, he's with New Orleans. They ain't gonna trade for him.
There's no value. There's no trade value.
I'm just throwing it out there. They mentioned Nick Foles. They mentioned Nick Foles, Carson Wentz. Everybody's saying I'll be on the phone with Brady. And the other guys were like, Brady is no way he's going to come out of retirement. By the way, have you seen Brady? He looks a lot thinner. I mean, he's not football ready. You know what I mean?
I would go Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz, because he could be all he needs is a game manager. Somebody just doesn't make mistakes, and they got a great defense. That's all. They got great receivers.
What they were saying, they need a quarterback that is not going to be a drop back. They need a mobile quarterback because that line is suspect, right? So you can't sit back there.
Suspect. The other thing that better the Giants.
Where's Teddy Bridgewater?
They mentioned
get hurt back there. Nah.
They mentioned Colt McCoy.
Who?
Isn't he like 90?
He's old as me. He's old as me, man. I saw him at the senior center the other day.
I feel bad for this guy, Zach Wilson, because, they threw every name possible out there. They just don't think he can do it. Even Peyton Manning, if you saw, I don't know if you got.
I saw that, yeah.
By the way, let's go around the thing. What do you watch? You watch Troy and Buck or Peyton, the Eli's, the Mannings?
You know me, I'm Peyton Eli guy.
Peyton Eli. I don't watch the others around.
Troy and Buck.
Kevin? I watch the Mannings. I love them. So Manning, Eli was making fun of Peyton. He kept saying, so you would just keep running the ball. I mean, that's ridiculous. And he's like, yeah, don't let him throw the ball. Just run the ball.
Well, Peyton also forgot that Zach Wilson was still on the team.
Don't let him throw it. Don't let him throw it.
But when they ran the ball with those Bryce Hall and Dalvin Cook, you see those yards they got? They got a lot of yards with them two guys. Like
the guy had 100 yards and 2 carries.
Yeah, definitely what they're gonna have to lean on.
Well,
100 yards. His first carry was 60 something. His second carry was 40 yards.
Yeah,
that's why I forgot that Zach Wilson was still on the team.
That's my guy, man. Zach Wilson, man. I love that.
That is Byron's guy.
Yes,
I know.
But let me tell you, when he needed to, he did throw a nice pass for first down. Right. I mean, he did throw a nice pass for first down. He's got to ease in. But, what they did say is you got to remember the other team was fully prepared defensively to play against Aaron Rodgers. They weren't prepared to play against Zach. Right. So this, everything changed at that time. So we don't know what happens. And it was game 1. Number 2, I feel bad for Aaron Rodgers. Do you know that I didn't know this? Vinny Testaverde, when they were going to win the champ, they were on the way to the playoffs. He got hurt in the first 4 plays also.
Yep. No. Achilles tendon, same thing.
Yeah.
And they're like, it's like, the Jets are cursed. My nephew-in-law was at the game and he was so upset. It wasn't even funny. They said that the atmosphere of the stadium was through the roof. It was 9/11. The airplanes, everything was going, and within minutes,
deflated.
Total silence.
Yep.
Total silence. That would
feel bad for him. I understand, of course I understand.
You think he's going to come back, Byron?
Let's see, $75 million. He might. I don't think he wants to go out like that. So I'm thinking he's going to come back.
That was
come back
the
1
weakest
year.
yes.
Yeah.
That was the weakest yes for the largest man I've ever seen.
Yeah, I had to think about that one.
He's 6'6", 300 pounds.
I had to think about that one.
$75 million.
I come back too for 75 million.
I'll come back for 5.
Give me 1. I'm good.
I couldn't imagine him wanting to go out like that, man. And I'm just, you know what I'm upset about? You know how you got to admit, guys, no matter what team we like, we've enjoyed the league for the last several years with the talent at the quarterback position, right? I've said this 3 years ago. Remember, Byron? This is probably the most amount of quarterback talent I've seen in my lifetime.
Right.
Like every time you turn on the TV, these kids are lighting it up.
Yeah.
I mean, think about the list we could go down. I mean, there's not a name we don't know. There was a time you barely knew the first, after 10 quarterbacks, you didn't really even know the quarterbacks for the other team. Now you just keep going and going and going. It's hard, right? So I'm upset because of just one thing I learned getting older is, there was a time where, you hate players when you're younger on the other team that are really good. I don't know if you guys have experienced that, right?
Yeah.
But then as you get older, you realize you had the privilege to be able to be in the era of seeing them play. Does that make sense? And then when they don't play,
type of deal.
Now you're like, oh man, I can't, like Kobe. I hated Kobe when he played, right? But, God rest his soul. I never wanted something to happen to him. But as I learned more about him, I have learned to admire him and so forth. And I was privileged to see him play. Now I understood the assassin. Well, the same thing with Aaron Rodgers, all that buildup and all that, everything he did for New York, cutting $37 million, which I never thought he would do, right? Taking a pay cut, helping that team. And then to see him go in 4 plays was just disheartening for me. And I'm not a Jet fan because, Byron, Jets win, we're going to get heat.
A lot of heat.
And yet we're still trying to root for them to be well. So it was sad. I give Robert Saleh credit for them to still win. I don't trust Buffalo. That's the reason why I didn't pick them. Byron, you picked Buffalo to win the NFC East. I mean, the AFC East. So we're clear.
No, I didn't. I put the Jets.
You flipped.
I changed back again.
No, I got it. John, you weren't here last week, were you?
Yeah.
Okay, he flipped. He picked Buffalo.
Yep.
The whole time he kept picking the Jets. They flipped and picked Buffalo.
I'm flipping again.
Right? I'm flipping. I'm gonna go with the Dolphins. Right.
I'm still with the Dolphins.
I'm gonna go with the Dolphins. Let's see. I'd like to see the Dolphins do well because Miami. You got to admit, South Florida got terrible fans, Kevin. But when they win, the fans are really good. Right? They come out. They come out of the woodworks. Fair weather fans, but when they're winning, they come out. Whether it's baseball or whatever it is, right? So I'm picking them. All right, guys, let's go through the picks. I gotta turn my light on because I can't see a damn thing. All righty. All right, so that was good. Guys, it was an interesting beginning of the season.
I'm just gonna say one thing, Vic. Just if I can say just one thing.
Sure.
The Broncos didn't lose that game. Sean Payton lost that game by his choice of kick.
Oh, I forgot. I didn't bring that up.
7 points left off the field because he missed 2 field goals and an extra point, and they started with an onside kick. There, I said my piece.
I picked the Denver to win, but I'm a Jimmy G fan.
Yeah, well, Jimmy G also he benefited from a really bad, stupid penalty by Kareem Jackson on that last drive.
That is true. But you got to admit that when he did what he does, he wins. If he stays healthy, Jimmy wins.
Yeah. He didn't even get sacked at all.
I also forgot that the Raiders had Devontae Adams. I mean, they got some players. I mean,
they do.
They got some players. I totally forgot about that with the hoopla of Denver and the other guys going on. Totally forgot about it. When I started watching the game and I said, oh my God, he actually got a pretty decent team, right?
Yeah.
Their team is not that. not bad. So, and again, we're up and down. Like I told you, I just think that it was a difficult. I'm not sure if Russ Wilson is the right quarterback for Peyton.
He probably is, and that's why we're going to get Justin Herbert in the next couple of years. So let's go ahead and continue.
All right, let's go. All right, so we're gonna go on. Let's go here. So while you guys are going, let's do the picks, guys, because I want to hold them. So Byron, you and I are gonna go because we're gonna keep them. Santiago's. What's the matter? No, I want a record this year. I don't want to hear any crap.
Eagles up 10-7 at half, or going into half.
All right, Byron, you gotta hurt. We just picked this game. All right, so we got the Bears versus the Bucks.
Bears.
Okay, so you got Bears. Bears. Let's go. Bears. I'll fix it later. Bucks. Go. Who do you got? Byron.
Get the Bears.
Bears. Victor. I got Bucks. Okay. Let's go. John, you want to go quick?
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the Bucks.
Jopin. John. Kevin. Okay. We gotta hurry up, guys. We're running a little over. Kevin, who you going with? Bucks?
Bucks.
Kevin?
Taking the Bears. The Bears.
The Bears. They didn't look too good either. All right.
The only reason I'm picking the Bucks is because they won in a difficult environment.
Packers, Falcons. You know what's probably easier. Right.
Packers, Cowboys?
Packers, Falcons. Packers, Falcons.
Where are they playing at?
It's Packers at Falcons.
Oh, okay.
What do you think they're playing?
I don't know. Packers.
Okay. Boom. Okay. John.
Who's the quarterback for the Falcons?
Ritter.
Desmond
Ritter.
He's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm going with Jordan Love and the Packers.
Kevin.
Take the Falcons. I'm gonna take Bijan. What is his name? Rich
Robinson.
Yeah, Bijan.
Kid's pretty good. Okay. We got Chargers, Titans. Oh God.
Who?
Chargers versus Titans.
The guy, the team with the best head coach in the NFL.
Oh, you gotta go with. I'm going with the Chargers. Brandon Staley, my man.
Okay. I'm gonna pick the Chargers because of Herbert, not because of the quarter and coach.
Oh, well, still the coach, man.
I'm gonna go out on the limb and say Titans.
Take them. Yeah.
Who you got, Kevin?
I'm taking the Titans also. I think Derrick Henry's gonna have a big day.
Yep.
Oh my God! If the Chargers lose, they definitely gonna fire this guy. All right.
Hey, get fired.
Giants and Cardinals.
Damn.
Giants at the Cardinals.
You know what? I'll go with the Cardinals.
What?
Is the little guy a quarterback right now?
Yeah,
No, they got Josh Dobbs as the quarterback.
Giants.
What do you got? What do you got, Kevin?
Take the Giants. I don't think they're gonna look. They can't do. They can't.
So the Giant fan picks against everybody else. All right, Commanders, Broncos at Broncos.
Ooh, Broncos.
You don't even need to ask.
Damn, man, you brutalize the Commanders. Is that a new way to spell it?
Answers.
Well, they don't know what their name actually is because they want to change it. So maybe they'll go with Commanders. I mean,
Commanders.
Who's your pick, Byron?
Broncos.
Kevin?
Taking the Commanders.
You got jokes.
You know what did it? That's that Perth Amway education kicking it.
Yeah. That's what it is.
That's the Upslow College education.
It's not my fat finger site. It's Saints at Panthers. That's the game.
Panthers.
Come on, Byron.
Saints.
You got the Saints?
Yep.
Yep.
Saints.
Kevin,
Take the Saints also.
across the board. All right. All right. You got, okay, you got, what the hell did I do? Okay, you got Chiefs and Jaguars. That's a good game.
Ah, Jaguars
Yep.
in Florida.
Yeah. It's gonna
And they
be
got a kicker named Brandon McManus.
Who do you have,
Ram.
John? Who do you have, John?
Jags.
Who do you have, Kevin?
I'm gonna take KC. I think they're gonna bounce back.
Yeah, there's no way they got at least 2 games.
Yeah, but is Kelsey playing?
I don't care, dude. They should have won the game anyway.
Well, I know that wide receiver is going to be playing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so is Chris Jones. Okay, Raiders versus Bills.
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 John, Kevin,
Taking the Raiders.
taking the Raiders too. All righty. 49ers at the Rams.
49ers and a beat down.
Yeah, that's a Niners beatdown. Yeah.
Oh no, no. Wait a minute. That defense is serious over there.
Not like the 49ers.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
I'm gonna take the Rams.
Wow.
Going with the
Kevin
Rams.
got it. Just trying to be different.
Yep, there goes somebody else being different.
Yeah, it figures. Jets at Cowboys.
Guaranteed.
Jets. Jets.
Mm-mm.
Go ahead. I already know who Byron could pick. Go ahead,
Who am I
Byron.
picking? I'm picking the Cowboys.
Exactly. What did I put down? Kevin, who you picking?
I'm taking the Cowboys. Jets. They're in our division. I want them to get.
Who you picking, John?
I'm taking the Jets.
Damn, another one being different.
No, it's because you guys know how I feel about the Cowboys.
Oh, yeah,
and
that's
their
right.
Fans.
I forgot. I don't know what I was thinking of.
I mean, come on.
I picked the Jets too. I think this is going to be a good. We're going to see a real good defensive matchup here. Dolphins versus Patriots. Byron.
Dolphins.
Kevin, I know who you're picking.
All right.
John.
Dolphins.
Okay.
Healthy.
This week.
The quotations. Browns and Steelers. That's interesting.
Browns.
Yeah.
Still
Didn't the Steelers get beat down on Sunday?
trying to get it together.
Yeah, they would look a hot mess too.
Yeah.
Taking
Who are
the
you
Browns.
picking? Kevin, John?
Taking the Browns.
Browns.
I'm going with Thomas. I think I went to at least 2 in a row. All righty. Jesus, we got a lot more. Did we already do? Oh, we did everybody, right?
That's Sunday. What about Monday?
Did I do everybody?
Monday night.
Monday
Yeah,
night.
I
I'm
think there's
looking for
2 people
Monday.
playing on Monday
Oh,
night.
Monday is Browns and Steelers. Yeah, there's
Okay.
2 games. Browns and Steelers. Who's the second game? Oh, the second game is Saints and Panthers.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Tires.
So we
Yeah,
got
we did
everybody.
them.
What does it seem like? It doesn't. There's not enough. 1, 2, 3.
16. No. 16.
Is that right? 12 games.
All right.
And
No,
tonight,
it's only-
what's
that's
and
only-
tonight? And
but
tonight's
tonight-
13. That should be right? That's 26. How many teams got buys? Who's playing right now? Philly. Where are they playing at?
They're playing in Philly.
At Philly.
So it's Philly against who?
Vikings.
Vikings.
That's kind of we're cheating though. 'Cause-
Well, I'm taking the Vikings.
Byron's good.
Taking the Vikings.
And they're already losing.
I don't like the way Philly's looking.
What would that mean? What's the score right now, Kev? John?
7-10.
Ravens,
Huh?
Bengals.
What's the
Ravens,
score?
Bengals.
Ravens, Bengals.
What's the
7-10.
score? Ooh, okay.
Oh,
So
man,
it's not so bad.
You know, I can't put Philly on that, man. I'm a Viking fan, man. Come on, man. You're killing me.
You said Philly.
No, I didn't. Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're Vikings. You played for Vikings.
Yeah, you got the
Okay. 13 games. Who am I missing?
Ravens Bengals.
Yeah.
Do I have them?
No.
You have them. You don't have them. Ravens
Okay, hold
Bengals.
on. Let's-
Should have 16. It's 32 teams. Yeah. Okay. So it's the Ravens, Bengals, Seahawks, Lions, and the Colts and the Texans. Those are the
it's
three.
funny, but this page I don't have. Did I miss the print?
Yes, she did.
Okay, who am I missing?
You're missing the Ravens, Bengals.
Okay.
I'm gonna take the Bengals there. I think they're gonna bounce back. Okay, you want to
Give me.
put them all and then come back?
Yeah.
Okay, you got the Seahawks, Lions.
Damn, man. He brutalized Seahawks, too.
It's fingers, bro.
That's right. See,
That's that Perth Amboy education. That's what
They
that
say
is.
here, don't be talking Perth Amboy. I did well in Perth Amboy. I got a scholarship. So
Colts,
be quiet.
Texans.
Who?
Colts.
Ooh, that's got to be a brutal game.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
gonna be a terrible game.
Yeah.
All right,
Two rookie quarterbacks.
All right, that's it.
Good. All right, so Ravens. Who do you got, Byron?
Bengals.
Who do you got, John? Kevin?
Ravens.
I'm going Bengals.
Ravens. The Ravens. Let's see. Who do I like? Burrows. Oops.
I think he'll bounce back, but not against Baltimore.
That defense too much.
Yeah.
And Kevin, you picked the Bengals, right?
Right.
Yeah, I think the Seahawks, Lions, Byron one.
No, I'm going with the Lions. Come on, man. I'm on that train right now.
I'm with him on that train. I'm sitting next to him.
Get me a seat, please.
In the owner's box.
That's right.
Yeah, no,
Kevin?
he
Kevin,
didn't want
who
to be
you
in the
picking?
owner's box yet.
Kevin,
We're on
who
the
you
train.
picking?
Touchdown.
Who you picking, Kevin? Kevin.
Lions.
You know what? I'll jump on the bandwagon for this game.
Oh, okay. Or maybe I should kick you off the bandwagon.
You can't kick me off anyway. Good. Pick the other team. That's what you could do.
Ooh, let's see. Colts, Tyre.
Colts attack.
Can I pick it? Can I just say draw on that one?
I'll pick the Colts.
I'm gonna pick the Titans. I mean Texans.
Oh man, you butchered the Texans. You can't even pronounce them, much less spell them.
Are you done, Mr. Perth Amboy?
Go. What do you got, John?
I'm going to take the Texans. Couldn't help it. I'm sorry, bro. Sorry.
Who do you got, Kevin?
I'm gonna take the Colts. I think Jonathan Taylor's gonna.
I don't even know if he's playing yet.
Oh, he's not. He's still out. Oh,
Yeah.
change my mate. Put me down for the Texans then. I thought he had a chip on his shoulder. He's still out.
Yeah, he's a chip hour. He's sitting home.
He's sitting on that chip.
Down for the Lions.
Who's-
He's a
Texans.
Jersey kid.
I'm missing a pick.
Texans, me.
Are you missing me
Okay.
on the Lions?
Texans. All right. Turkey. All right. What I'm gonna do is whoever wins, I'm gonna put a 1 so we can keep our scores and whether you guys are there or not. And then I'm gonna have next week's already put up. All right. Oof, that took long. I'm trying to have this set or I'll have get an intern or somebody to do because I can't type this stuff up. All righty, guys. Well, you ready for the season? It was a good, a good start. I'm happy football's back. You guys happy football's back?
Oh, no doubt.
No,
See you
awesome.
ranked number 17. Gotta love it.
Who's ranked number 17?
Colorado.
Yeah.
Colorado.
Go Buffaloes.
Oh, the Prime is ranked number 17.
Yep.
Let's see what happens. Let me tell you, they
well,
look good.
After what they did to Nebraska, I mean, the defense
Who are they playing
finally
this
showed
week?
up. They play CSU, Colorado State. So
Colorado State.
that's a blowout.
Colorado State.
Yeah, that's a
some
beat
smack.
down. That's a beat
I
down.
heard he
That's a
talked some
beatdown.
smack too to Deion. So they said that he shouldn't have done that because now Deion's gonna put up 2 more touchdowns than he normally would have.
Yeah. I'm torn. I was born on the campus of Colorado State, but I grew up in Boulder County, so I got both going.
All righty. All right, well, gentlemen, thank you for joining our show. Again, please don't forget, we are live every Thursday. At what time, Byron? How many fingers you got?
Oh.
How many fingers? 8 p.m. live, streaming live
There
on
you
YouTube and on Facebook. We're on Stitcher, Spotify. Check out our podcast. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe button. We're going to have more details this year. We're going to change up the show. We're going to get really. I'm ready to go. But John, I want you to get that vein in my forehead popped out again. Fire Staley. That's all I got to say. All right, don't forget to subscribe on the Sportscast on all your channels, YouTube, Twitter, Spotify. This is the Jersey Boys Sports Talk live every Thursday. We have a playlist. Please go in there, subscribe, tell your friends. Welcome to the show. Be prepared to talk some smart football. Gentlemen, thank you. God bless. I'm looking forward to this season. I'm looking forward to go watch the game. I'm so used to there's no game on. I forgot there was a game on. I was out there printing all the stats. Now this year we're coming with stats, and I'm going to pre-record, making sure we catch Byron and all his different choices every week.
Well, just so you know, next week I'll be coming from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Really?
On assignment.
Yep, on assignment again.
Are you another vacation for you?
I'm not on vacation. When you retired, it's not called. It's called a getaway. It's a difference.
Yeah, right.
It must be nice, boy. All right.
Well, God bless. Virginia, AC, now Myrtle
Uncle
Beach.
Eric, thank you for watching the show.
Yep, Uncle Eric.
Thanks for joining the show. Everybody and our fans, please leave your comments and your likes. We'll get back. We'll get back to you. Let us know what you want to hear. Let's see if we can get this Giant team to turn around. I don't think the Cowboys are as good as they are. This is why a lot of people don't like them, because they're like the fan favorite. Not the fan favorite, but they're just talked about all the time. So we'll see. For the Cowboy fans out there, hey, I wish you the best of luck. But at the end of the day, I think it's the same old Cowboys. I still think you're going to, until you prove me wrong, you're going to be one and done. You've been one and done for 15 years. So I'm not really worried about that. Last time you got the
VHS to watch the Super Bowl highlights.
That's what I was going to say. Last time you were in the play, deep in the playoffs, in the VHS. For you young kids, it's a big little tape that went into a cassette thing. It was before the CD player. You probably don't even know what a CD player or DVD player is. So, all righty, Kevin, good luck. Hey, I'd like to see that firepower with the Dolphins. Let's pray that Tua stays healthy. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, I hate to have that conversation, but it's a conversation that I'm not the only person bringing up. But at the end of the day, let's forget about it. If he stays healthy, man, they got some real firepower. Man, that was impressive. Very impressive. Chargers did too. You got to give them credit. They got to work on their defense, right? Because you're gonna have to stop a team to win, just like the Chargers.
Coach in the NFL. Best coach in the NFL.
Best Brandon Staley.
Brandon Staley. Best coach in the NFL.
And he's the defensive coordinator too.
And for our fans, for your fans saying that, Byron's saying that just to rib me, and John is saying that because he wants him to stay, so he does a terrible job, so the Broncos win. Just so everybody understands the definition.
I have ulterior motives. Never said anything about it.
And me and Kevin don't care about it because I don't care. I just hate to see a great young quarterback, his career not going in the direction it needs to go with a bad coach. So,
free agents.
All right, gentlemen. God bless your families. Don't
Take
forget
care, guys.
to call your family members. Tell them you love them. Spread the love. God bless. Peace and love to everybody. See you next week.
Take care.
Gotta go.